Guilty, 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 guilty. It took less than 3 hours last evening for a jury in the low country of South Carolina to convict Alex Murdaugh of murdering his wife and younger son and of using deadly weapons to do it. And in a brief hearing this morning, the judge in the case made quick work of imposing a sentence of life in prison. Like many people in South Carolina, Don and I have been mesmerized for the past year and a half by these sordid tales of lying and thievery and ultimate violent deaths surrounding one of the most famous men from one of the most famous families in the region. As Alex Murdaugh's life unraveled, so did his composure and then his alibis. The verdicts brought down not only one man, but the multi-generational reputation of a wealthy white family of lawyers whose century-long reign of political power was so great that the area where they live is literally known as Murdaugh country. It seemed to me a consummate story of the American South. And so I was surprised that the trial captured national attention, so much so that it was the lead story several nights running on NBC Nightly News. The trial was hard to understand. It was as messy as the original investigation, which yielded little but circumstantial evidence. But we finally got that law and order moment we have all been primed for. The prosecution produced a cell phone video taken by Paul Murdaugh just before he was murdered. Alex Murdaugh had vehemently denied under oath that he was anywhere near the location of the murders at that time. But many people testified to hearing his voice clearly on that video. He was forced to admit that he had lied about where he'd been. Yes, he was there after all. And then under relentless questioning, he admitted he lied about a lot of things in his life to a lot of people, including to the family he claimed to have loved so much. All his life, Alex Murdaugh played the roles of a wealthy Southern gentleman and a capable, honest lawyer. But sadly and horrifically, that's not who he was inside. And by buying into the facade and selling it to other people, he sowed destruction wherever he went, starting with himself. We, all of us, need to be reassured that the people we bring into our lives are good enough and honest enough that they are who they seem to be on the outside is really a reflection of who they are on the inside. We don't demand perfection, but we deserve honor and honesty. The ethical concept that you should be the same person outwardly as you are inwardly is embedded in Judaism. We find it in the Talmud, where the rabbis are actually talking about the Torah portion from last week. During the building of the Holy Ark, the Torah commands, you will overlay it with pure gold inside and outside. Now, the rabbis use this to warn us of a Torah scholar whose inside is not like his outside, and whose outward expression of righteousness is insincere. Not only is he not a real Torah scholar, the rabbis proclaim, he is nitav, a loathsome and foul human being. But Torah scholars aren't usually in a position to be seduced by the trappings of family, power, wealth, and privilege. They are not Alex Murdaughs. So what happens when you are a member of a privileged class, a priestly class? How about the priestly class? Someone whose elevated standing in the community is not due to your own hard work, but the accident of your birth. As it happens, that's actually what we're looking at in this week's Torah portion. And I've spotted God's message in just the second verse. You shall bring forward your brother Aaron with his sons from among the Israelites to serve me as priests, God commands Moses. Aaron, Nadav, and Avihu, Eleazar, and Itamar, the sons of Aaron, make sacral vestments for your brother Aaron for dignity and adornment. Dignity and adornment is the JPS translation. The Hebrew is l'chavod u'letifaret, and I might read that better as honor and glory. Tiferet refers to physical beauty, something ornamental and grand. Kavod refers, I think, to inner dignity or respect. And here, kavod comes first. Kavod is the priority. Aaron and his sons are commanded to remember that it's not the spectacular bejeweled gowns and headdresses that make them true priests. It's the kavod, the dignity, and the kindness with which they carry out their ministry of the people. That's what matters to God. Now, we'll find out later what happens if they don't get that message, and sorry for the spoilers here. Aaron's own sons will actually, his two oldest, will be consumed by the fire offering they bring in spite of God's command not to. Korach, a self-important Levite cousin, challenges the authority of Aaron and Moses and ends up getting swallowed by the earth. God is forced to purge them from the priesthood, and God makes a public spectacle of their deaths so that everyone gets the point. Don't be drawn in by the lavish trappings of the priesthood, and don't be fooled by the fools who are. Kavod ultifaret, honor and glory. Honor precedes glory. Behavior trumps birth. Be ready to receive God's command to serve the community, and let your conduct every day reflect that light within. Ken Yehi Ratzon, be this God's will and our mission here on earth, as we say together, Amen.